All right, everybody, what's going on? If there's anybody here for this lovely test, what's going on, everybody? All right. Well, we got some people watching. Welcome, 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 everybody. Can you guys hear okay? Does everything sound all right? Hey, Guy, welcome. Okay, perfect, man. Perfect. So, yeah, this is just a little test. I wanted to talk to everybody a little bit about something that I watched today along with a few other people. And that was the episode 2 of season 3 of Unsolved Mysteries. And that episode, it's kind of hidden behind the banner here, but it's called Something in the Sky, and it's about the 1994 March 8th Western Michigan UFO sighting that was absolutely insane, if you ask me. So let's see. Guy is saying something here. And Guy was one of our first guests on the podcast way back when. And he talked about his sighting. Let's see. He says, "Dead serious, looks like you've done this 1,000 times." Well, I've been on different shows, but I've never run my own, you know what I mean? Like I've never done a live stream. Everything I've ever done has been pre-recorded and put out there as a podcast. So, yeah, this is just kind of messing around and talking. Let's see. Rick Davis, what's going on, man? Oh, it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Awesome. Let's see. You and Michelle were great with me. I was really nervous. Yeah, dude, trust me. We're nervous every time we do this and when we record an episode with people. So, yeah. So it's a little late. You can already tell my voice is a little shot. I got some water here, but you know. Oh, the sighting was on your birthday. Okay, that's really weird. So your birthday is March 8th. Is it 1994? Is that when you were actually born? That's really interesting, man, because these coincidences are. Oh, okay. So you were born around 1969 or so, but the sighting was on March 8th. Okay. Yeah, this stuff that's happening in Michigan is amazing how the coincidences or synchronicities match up, and it's something I still have to deal with, like try to reconcile, and I can't because my background is in science. And it's really, really weird. And I don't know if enough people even examine the synchronicities, being new to this whole thing and talking about it and interviewing people. It's just very, very strange. So, for instance, this episode happened of Unsolved Mysteries. They're talking about a UFO sighting that happened in 1994 on March 8th. In 1966, throughout the month of March and into April, but mainly in March 1966, was a huge UFO flap in Ann Arbor and Dexter, Michigan area that was seen by all kinds of college students and people. And so our sighting was, and this is my wife and I, Michelle, our sighting was done or saw happened on March 9th, 2018, of a giant flying black triangle, one of these things right there. And that's pretty much what it looked like. No big glowing orb in the center like is usually reported. Ours just had the three very, very bright lights in the corners. And then Guy was telling us about his sighting that was on March 18th, 2000, or no, 1994. So the same year that the Western flap was happening. All right. Very, very strange. And then a person we had on our roundtable for episode 14, and you can find all of our audio episodes in our, um, over in our library there on YouTube. But if look at that, his sighting was 2019, March 23rd, but in the same exact location where a guy had his sighting on southbound US 23. Absolutely crazy. And I believe, now, Guy, correct me if I'm wrong, but can you tell me, was that also a triangle that Alex saw? Yeah. Okay. So identical to yours. Yep. So, what is it about March, at least here in Michigan? Now, I did present this information to somebody who's been in ufology for almost 20 years, and that is Rich Giordano from GoofOn. And we talked about this and we've been emailing back and forth. And one of the emails that Rich sent me said something very interesting, and I'm trying to find it right now. But he talks about how he watched that episode twice. Okay, so he watched episode 2, that Something in the Sky on Unsolved Mysteries. But he goes on to say that it's always March and April as well as December for top UFO sightings each year in Phoenix. You know, the Phoenix Lights. So is March significant? He asked. And why would it be? It's very, very, very strange. And I have no kind of answers to that at all. Other than, could this be some kind of coincidence? Maybe it has something to do with the Earth's position around the sun as it orbits the sun. It is. It's crazy stuff. And it's something I can't really wrap my mind around as a scientist. But the more and more people we talk to about this stuff, and especially this one today that we watched, this Something in the Sky, it really kind of got to me and disturbed me more than I thought anything would. So yeah, so hey Barry, welcome. Welcome to this test of live streaming. Just messing around here and chatting. So welcome on board. March comes up a very lot when it comes to UFOs. I got that from Guy. Yeah, what is the deal? Could it be the position of Earth, where Earth is in its orbit around the sun? I don't know. Some people were speculating that it may have something to do with something going on in the Earth during that time, and they're monitoring what's going on. Let's see. The one I saw on request was December 7th, 2019 at 16:55 hours. Really? That's interesting. Yep. So anyways, so I just wanted to play around with StreamYard. I'm hoping at some point Michelle will end up joining us on here, and we'll do maybe something every couple weeks, some kind of live stream and talk about things. Um, let's see, guy says Linda was asking me too, to an extent. I know this episode really rocked you. What do you think there was in the episode that hit you so hard? Ooh. For me, it was when the meteorologist, his name's Jack, I forget his last name, but he was told basically, don't say anything. And then eventually what they did, and the way that his coworkers made fun of him, which was an absolute disaster. Bashong. Okay. Yeah. Jack Bashong, which I'm trying to get on the podcast to have a conversation with him, which would be interesting. But when they told him not to talk about this, not to talk to reporters, and then a few months later told him, you just need to leave Michigan. That's crazy. He ended up going down to Georgia to work at the National Weather Service down in Georgia. And all the guy did was work with the dispatchers in Ottawa County, tracking these things that people were calling in about. So there are radar records of these things being tracked. It's absolutely insane that they would do that to him. And that kind of really is one of the big things I think that got to me in this episode. I was ready to throw things through my TV at that point. I was not very happy. And the way that people just treated him in general. Yeah, it is science. It absolutely is science. You're right, guy. You have a technological piece of equipment, such as a piece of radar, that can be tuned in and focus on a certain object in the sky, and he's watching the thing bounce around. And the best they had for him in 1994 was, well, here's some paper plate UFOs we're going to hang up over your desk, and don't say anything about it, and you better leave and go somewhere else. It's absolutely ridiculous. But this is the games that have been played for 80 years, since the 40s, right? Since the possible Roswell crash. Well, something happened, obviously. Uh, I don't know. It's just infuriating to me. And I think that's what got to me the most. Here you have the dispatchers and the police seeing these things, chasing them down. And I believe at the end of the episode, they talked about 300 reports came in just that night alone. So, hey, it's Samo. Samo Gufonian Rockstar. What is happening, my friend? Welcome. Good to see you, man. We're just chit-chatting and playing around with SteamYard. So, welcome. Good to see you. Let's see, that triangle I saw, this is Rick, was so close that I could have hit it with a 22 cal. Yeah, that's the triangle that Michelle and I saw was very close. I probably could have hit it with a 22 as well. It was only about 150 feet above the ground, hovering over an IKEA. And I believe it is I want to say some type of a little hotel at 275 and Ford Road in Canton. And it was just sitting there, and I thought it was a plane crashing, looking for, Detroit Metro. The three lights were so bright, I thought they were landing lights, but there were no other flashing lights or anything. And man, crazy, absolutely nuts. And it was close, and we couldn't hear a thing. Michelle put her window down as we got closer to it. I'm only doing about 25 to get merged onto 275 there, going around the on ramp. And I got the closest look at it, but she's like, it's not making any noise at all. Nothing. It had to be 300 feet on a side. So absolutely insane. So let's see, what do we got going on in here in chat? I'm doing this all by myself, so it's not like I can keep up with everything. Let's see here. Eyes on Cinema has been knocking it out of the park with UFO reports. Really, I'll have to check that out. I don't check out a lot of other shows and things, man. I'm usually too busy, and I'm usually trying to prepare to get guests to come on our show so much that I'm lucky if I catch Goof on like live maybe twice a week or so. But I just try to talk with as many people as I can. Let's see, 125 foot from an enormous triangle. Yep. We will meet them soon. I know them. Know who? Who's driving these things? No sound, floated like a balloon. We watched it for 3 to 5 minutes. No kidding, Rick. Remember you did this on short notice. It's working really well. Cool. Well, I'm glad it's working really well. Yeah, I know. I only did it with like a half hour notice and just dropped some links in our Facebook group. So who do we got watching? We got 6 people watching right now, which is fine. Let's see. Rick's saying he's estimating it was 300 to 400 feet long. The triangles are the big ones. Has the rarest UFO stuff I have ever found. Okay. I'll definitely have to check that out, but I don't know how much that is going to help what my mission basically is. And I think, Guy, you kind of know what my mission is. Number one, obviously, to find out what these things are by corroborating with people and getting information. So I don't really watch like the UFO videos and stuff. But the second one is trying to find out if people need help and what happened to them. So, there's a lot of people that have been messed up by these things. Almost like PTSD. And if we can get those people talking, and at least I don't know how many times I've seen people join our Facebook group that said that they are happy that they don't feel alone anymore and they already feel better. So, hey, maybe that's all it takes. See, Rick says, can you read my avatar? No, I cannot. I cannot tell what that is. The racetrack UFO, the California Hawaiian route has been seen a lot. Oh, yeah. I've heard of that. Yep. Let's see, Guy, what are you saying here? Got a good friend who has had 2 surgeries on her corneas after, I want to say, a landing in her backyard in a flash of light. Extremely well documented. Holy smokes. Sam Mo, what do you got to say? Says, Wayne, you're so lucky, both of you. Some have not made it this far. Sometimes I feel you guys were supposed to see it that night. Dude, I don't know what to say to that because I've talked to people and I'm going to honestly tell you that I have never thought about doing a podcast or talking about this stuff before. I am a freaking earth and space science teacher. This does nothing to help, help me in my career or anything. It's not anything I ever wanted to talk about. And, oh, you guys weren't supposed to see that night. Well, that's possible because the feeling I got in my head was, you don't belong here. Get away. Run. Get away. You don't belong here. You're not supposed to be here. So I'm bugging to science myself. All right. Cool, Samo. You are supposed to look inside when you see them. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I know Jacques Vallée's got some interesting thoughts on that. And it does seem like that when these things appear, and I guess you can even look at biblical and mythological texts that talk about these things. You take a look at that and, things change afterwards for people. I think it was even Moses who ended up turning gray after dealing with getting the 10 commandments, or his hair and everything turned white. So I don't know, man. It is it a matter of perception? Do they have a plan as to who they want seeing what, and then what they want you to do? Some people say yes. So Guy is my leader and faithful hero. Yeah, Guy is a really solid dude. Been talking to him for a long time now. And I'll tell you, for one of our first interviews, that thing went probably over 2 hours talking to Guy about his experience and just comparing notes. And that's still probably one of my favorite episodes and interviews we've ever done, because every time I listen to it, I learn something different each time. And Guy, you know exactly what I'm talking about when you're talking about those pairs of ladies that had those experiences. I thought you were just talking about one set of ladies, and come to find out it was two. And man, that's crazy, absolutely nuts. So let's see. 18 years after my sighting, my house in the city was engulfed in a blue beam of light. Yes. Which my wife said kind of paralyzed me or something. Now, did your wife see that, Guy? Was she a witness to that as well? Somewhere in the sky does the witness account, and a lot of people have seen the black triangle. Really good channel. Yeah. Okay. I had a hard time with that interview. Thanks for cutting out the part when I started to cry. Dude. Okay, and Linda did see that blue light. That's crazy. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I was so angry. I thought I was gonna, how you can get those tears of anger sometimes? When I watched that interview, that's where I was. Like, I had the remote in hand and I was ready to throw it through a 65-inch 4K color TV, man. Flat screen, beautiful TV. And I was ready to just throw it out the window. I was so mad. I am surprised though that there was no reports of any triangular shaped UFOs. Now, those lights in that episode did form into a triangle, and they saw it, Jack saw it on radar. But these were like almost like a saucer type from what people were describing, which is very interesting. So how many different craft are there, or how many different things are here? So that's another one. I saw it the first night she was gone. 4 nights later, she was home and awake, and I was asleep. I was furious, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. So, all right. So we got 6 people watching. Samo, what's going on, man? Good seeing you on here. You got anything you want to add? Have you watched that episode? Right, Barry. You're absolutely right. I thought it was one set of ladies. But no, it was 2 different sets, because when that woman showed up to interview Guy from MUFON, she was telling Guy about a whole different pair of ladies that had been abducted, or said they were abducted, and totally matched up with the times and everything. Let's see, Samo. If it can cloak all the time, they choose to let some of us see them. Then isn't it in over a dozen models of different capabilities and astro jumping? Yeah, dude, absolutely. I'll tell you, when we drove pretty much underneath that triangle as we were getting on the expressway, and I was trying to, basically escape. I wanted to do what they were saying, get away. You don't belong here. And so when we were going around that ramp like that. I was the closest one to it, and I looked up out of the driver's side window to see, what was there, because there was something blocking out the sky, and it was a translucent looking skin with a weird kind of it looked like a texture. But the more I could focus on it in that few seconds as I was driving, it looked like the best way to describe it is a heat mirage coming off a blacktop in a very hot summer day. That's what the body of this thing looked like. So it was whatever the body of this thing was, it was warping the visible light spectrum, but not good enough. So that was really, really bizarre. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Guy. I don't know why Michelle and I do what we do. It's just after that, what we went through, man. And for me, I want to know now. It's like it hooked me. It took a while for us to start the podcast, but once we started the Facebook group and we started having all of these stories and accounts coming in, I was like, we got to talk about this. Let's put it out there and see if we can get some people to listen, and maybe it'll help them and let them know. And then we found out, because they're great at suppressing information like this. There was so much in this 1994 March 8th show on Unsolved Mysteries that I didn't know all of this stuff. And there was news articles and everything. And I've lived in Michigan my whole life for the most part. But then we found out about the 1966 UFO thing in Ann Arbor and Dexter. And what the hell was that all about? So I started digging into that. Then we met Ray Szymanski, who is the writer of the Alien Shades of Grey trilogy. And one of those books was Swamp Gas My Ass. And we talked to him twice now. And very, very interesting information coming from him, how fighters in 1966 were dispatched to intercept, and he talked to the pilots that saw these things, and they were discs. And they were chasing them down, and they got left in the dust when they would show up. So things have been going on here in Michigan that have been suppressed. People have been basically emotionally or psychologically damaged by what they see, and then the lack of any kind of help or empathy or anything from people. So it's really, really crazy why we would treat each other like that when somebody's gone through a traumatic experience. Now, maybe some of this stuff is medical, right? I mean, it could be. There could be delusions, and some people may be mentally ill or whatever, but that doesn't mean all of them. And it doesn't mean 300 people on the west side of the state on March 8th, 1994 were seeing things. So anyways, that's like my main mission really, is just to let people know, hey, if Michelle and I saw this, I mean, she's got a master's degree. I have a bachelor's of science degree. My minor was psychology and human development. My major is secondary education with a focus and major in earth and space science, which means astronomy, physics, all of that stuff. And I have never heard or seen anything that could do what we saw. All right, Barry, what do you got going on here? Richard Dolan does an amazing job breaking down how many sightings per year, per month, per day, how many UFOs that would be. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Richard Dolan's an interesting dude, but I believe he gets all of his information from the National UFO Recording Center. And I did put and that's another thing too. And I don't know if anybody from MUFON's ever going to see this or heard any of our stuff, even though we've interviewed a couple people of theirs from MUFON, which were a couple of great ladies with some very interesting stories about what happened to them. But I never was contacted when I put in my report for MUFON. And wouldn't you want to talk to somebody who's a science guy, a scientist, and a science teacher? I mean, really, a couple of educated people who weren't drinking 2:30 in the morning, heading home from a bingo place, right? We're playing bingo just cause money's kind of good if you win. But nobody contacted us at all, which is really, really bizarre. Anyways, they have the ability to take on their surroundings like a chameleon. Okay, Rick, I'm tending to agree with you, because if we're not seeing them all the time, you're probably right. See, Barry says, Travis Walton, what an amazing story, but he talks about being in a big ship and seeing two smaller sports models in a hangar. Yeah, I don't know about Travis Walton. I know his story, but there's too many things that I've heard about his background and the financial problems his lumber company was going through. So, I don't know. It's kind of like Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar has a great story, but again, we need that evidence, man. See, I want to interview you for my channel, buddy. We could get into some interesting. Absolutely, Guy. Anytime, man. Send me an invite. We'll set it up. Time and day. I'll be there. Brownstown, Rick. Oh, okay. Rick, you lived in Brownstown for 17 years. That's just basically up the road from us. Samo. Wayne, coming from you, I trust your judgment and Michelle's as well. On top of that, you use reason and are methodical. You ask the right questions from a science perspective. I do believe we have this tech now. Okay. Yep. Or we have something close to it, Samo, because I'm thinking that we have recovered something. So, and we've been breaking it apart ever since. I don't necessarily believe the Bob Lazar story, but I think Wright Patterson has a lot to do with things. Just from my initial digging into this, Guy says, I ended up talking to a social worker for 4 years. I think he believed me. Probably. He probably saw something and just didn't want to admit it. Barry says, sorry that you had to go through all this, but you two have totally got me hooked. I learned as much as I can. I look up all the time, and I live right here on the big lake. Ooh, nice. Well, here's what I was thinking about doing, guys. Yeah, Guy, I know it blows my mind as well. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this March we should coordinate a 24-hour sky watching, full month long sky watching event where everybody takes like a certain day and they watch for a certain time, and then they're off and somebody else comes on duty. Something like that, man. Just something that we can organize ourselves and do ourselves. Let's see. Barry says Hillsdale College, over 120 students saw the craft. Yeah, there was multiple craft. The sheriff's deputies saw it, or saw them, took pictures of it nonetheless. And the sheriff himself came out and said, if you think that was swamp gas, you're full of crap. Let's see. Helmut Kass. Let's see. Hey, all right. He's just saying hi. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. We got 8 people watching now. 1988 over Lake Erie. Also in 1972, there was a sighting over Lake Superior where a fighter jet actually chased it. Yes, I have an inside source on that sent me a ton of their research. So I have a lot of digital files on that crash and what happened and who the pilot was and everything. I just have not revealed it. I have not talked about it because I have not dissected it like I've wanted to. And I would want to do that story justice. and I'm not a journalist or anything like that. So I'm a science guy, man. So yeah, I got to pull that data apart, and I will eventually present it to people on the podcast. I've been sitting on it a while, and this guy I talked to is the legit deal. Let's see. Guy says he's talked to Steve Pierce on the phone a couple times. I don't think he's capable of keeping up with the Walton thing. Yeah. Samo, we couldn't see them up till now, and now we can. All of our tech is heading that direction. Well, that new radar we have, Samo, on those Aegis cruisers, absolutely. That Spy 1 radar, that is some high-tech stuff. Very rare interview by Travis Walton. You can find a conflict. Okay, yes, we found it on the moon. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, what did we find on the moon, Samo? I'm interested in what did we find? Okay, you guys got me convinced. I'm gonna check out Eyes on Cinema. Well, I'm not saying I'm not a believer, man. No. We saw something, man. No. Oh, alien craft on the moon. Oh, that's right. I'll tell you what, China's been active on the moon. Something's going on there as well. Guy says, wow, cool idea. We should monitor that spot on US 23 where people have seen the same craft in 1994, 95, 2008, 2019. You think? 100%, man. There is some way we could have eyes on the sky every night during the month of March in that area. That would be amazing. Even if it's some kind of just cameras, we can hide in the woods there and have them facing in all directions and recording things. What do they call those? The hunters like trail cams. We could figure out something. Personally, I reject the idea that the majority of these things are the US government. I think the government's been trying to replicate them. I think they've seen them. They've seen them and watched them perform, and they are trying to make things that do the same thing because they're probably worried about them being a security threat. So let's see, in a corridor of NASA, there is pics of pilots with different models of UFO. Oh, yeah. First anti-grav. Yep. Well, there's also like the Nazi Bell craft that they were working on. I don't know if it was actually a craft or if it was some kind of a new doomsday weapon that they were working on, that Nazi Bell. So that's interesting. I've been trying to look into that because obviously I think humans, the way we operate is imitation, right? We watched birds fly, so then we got to learn how to fly. Right? So we build a craft that kind of looks like a bird, but, gets the basics physics down on how to fly, but, you can tell it's not a bird. So we try to figure out ways to make things work the way that we see them within our own mind of the physics that are kind of our frame, I guess you could say, that we work in. Let's see. Helmut says, I saw one massive, wasn't going to say anything to anyone. Went to my mate's house. He opened the conversation. Did you just see that in the effing sky? I said, thank F for that. Yes, I did. Exactly. That's exactly right. You need that validation for things, We've been so conditioned not to talk about these things, even if it is just a shooting star. If you can talk to enough people about it, then you don't have to concern yourself with, what the hell did I just see? And then think about it and have it drive you crazy. He's driven out there a couple times, kind of gives me the creeps. Yup. Dude, I don't go by 275 and Ford Road. I don't think I've gone there 3 times in that area in the last 5 years, to be perfectly honest. Not only is it highly congested, but I just don't want to be over there. Yep. On the replication, no question. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to try to imitate and build something that we see. Absolutely. My sighting was the last Sunday in September, really 2018 at 8:20. Okay. Helmut, what city, country, like what was your location? Yes, with the space race in China, just found a new element in the moon. Okay, I got to dig into this, Samo. Thank you. We missed it somehow. Or the Chinese could be lying. You know, our countries play these games with each other. It's just ridiculous. So, that's your Lou Elizondo stuff that starts happening, right? The counter intel stuff. Let's see. Guy says, you would not believe a couple of the stories I've heard from some old friends, crazy stuff from people I would have never expected. You know what? At this point, guy, I would believe it. Yeah. Wales, UK. Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. You mean you guys in the UK have UFOs? I thought it was an American problem. You know how many times I've heard that from people in the UK? It's really sad because the people we've interviewed from the UK, for the most part, that's all they talk about. So, yeah. Elizondo, you don't trust Elizondo? I don't know, man. I've seen the interview where he talks about he was brought on board to the UAP task force for his unique skill set of being in counterintelligence and to destroy, his mission was to destroy ufology and replace it with what? Another government office that they're not going to tell us anything. Yeah, I have blood ties to Wales as well. Yep. Sweden, Wales, and Scotland. 50% Scottish, I found out. Yep. I think my ancestors came over here and told people they were Irish for whatever reason. Or they were written in as Irish instead of Scottish. Probably the people at the port had no idea. So somewhere in the sky, witness accounts, you have to make it a point to listen to them. Very good information. Okay. You're right. Watch for either a nuke scare or major conflict. In the Middle East, the arrival will happen then. You think so, Rick? I don't think so. I think if they are some type of a alien or some kind of visitors or ET or extra dimensional, whatever. I don't know. But I don't think they're going to interfere. I don't think anything's going to happen. I mean, don't you think they would have shut down all the nuclear testings in the 60s, 50s and 60s when we were doing God knows what to the environment and the atmosphere? I'm a Danish Norseman living and born in Wales. Oh, cool. Yep. Another good YouTube is Curious Being. This girl talks about UFOs like she knows something. I don't understand what you're talking about there, Barry. They're interdimensional. You know what? That could be very true. And it is their propulsion that allows them to do that, to move through different dimensions, that causes damage to people. So, one of the things too, and Guy and I were talking about this. Oh man. Hey, Bigfoot, Michigan. Rob, what is going on, man? Welcome to the very first live stream. Yeah, we're just playing around. Well, actually, I'm playing around. Michelle's in bed sleeping. But Guy and I were talking about this earlier. And at the end of episode 2 of Unsolved Mysteries, Something in the Sky, they talk about the water tower being a column of water being sucked up into the air, seen by campers up 6,000 feet into the air. Guy then goes ahead and releases on the Facebook group, he releases a video from Australia where they talk about these things shooting light down into the water, and it's not shining on the water, it's penetrating into the water, and then it's pulling water up, stops for a minute, and then releases water back down. And so Guy and I were talking about this for a minute, and my idea is that like a nuclear power plant, they're probably using water to cool whatever they're, and it's got to be fresh water. It can't have salt. It cannot be impure water, right? Salt water is got all kinds of salt dissolved into it. But they're probably using the water to cool whatever their propulsion system is, just like we do with nuclear power plants. Oh, well, thanks, Rob. I appreciate that, man. I'm just kind of on my own playing around. Well, I got Guy here, but yeah, I mean, think about that. Michigan's surrounded by the most fresh water pretty much in the world. We have the largest lakes of fresh water in the world. Where do you want to get your natural fresh water to cool your propulsion systems, especially if there's some type of an atomic system? Probably where there's the most fresh water. And which state has pretty much always been in the top 10 of UFO sightings? Michigan. Now, I'm surprised Minnesota doesn't have more sightings, considering all the little lakes they have. Oh, man. Yeah, I put on, now here's the thing, right? I put on the physics helmet and science hat of what we know of applied sciences right now. But these things can be operating way much more advanced. So what if they are pulling water molecules apart to get the hydrogen out of the H2O? They're pulling the dihydrogen out, the two hydrogen molecules, and just releasing oxygen back into the air and using that, and then expelling their waste into our water. I mean, we take in a bunch of water in nuclear power plants. We put radioactive rods into that water. We boil it, create steam, and then that steam turns generators, and then we have to dispose of the waste because now that water is radioactive. So, man, I don't know, but that's applying our physics to these things. Let's see, Barry says that have a guy that says a UFO shot a particle beam at one of the nukes. Oh, yes. Yeah. I found that video of that one guy from the Air Force. He was he filmed the rocket launches so they could see how the missiles and intercontinental ballistic missiles were in flight. And yeah, some kind of a orb shows up and shoots beams of light all around that one missile, and then the missile detonates in the air. Crazy. Visuals work better than audio. Kudos on the jump. Oh, it's Samo. Don't get all excited, man. I'm still doing audio podcast. This is just to mess around. It's the right way. I'm going to follow suit as well. Oh, cool, man. Cool. This is the first time I've ever used SteamYard like this. So some pictures just came up that happened in Michigan, Glen Arbor to be exact. And the UFO shot lights down into the pond. Yeah. And that was one thing that was happening in 1966 over here in the marshland. And you know what they ended up finding? Does anybody know what they found large amounts of in those areas in Ann Arbor and Dexter? So that's a question for you guys. You're right, Samo. Those were dummy missiles to test the aerodynamics. Dino footprints? No. Titanium? Nope. It is a mineral though. It is a mineral that is used to help control atomic reactions. Boron. We use that in nuclear power plants to help control the reactions. Yeah, and that was found in large quantities in Dexter and Ann Arbor after all those sightings. People were saying they were seeing something falling out of these objects, and when they did go there, all they were like, "Oh, all we found was some boron." Like, dude, that's a big deal. That's a big piece of evidence. So, yep. All right. Well, let's see. Does anybody else want to? We've been at this 52 minutes already. Damn, time flies. Does anybody want to throw anything into chat that we want to talk about? Some previous episodes, what you guys think of the stream? How does it look? How does it sound? Suggestions? Exactly, Guy. Nothing to see here. Move along. Or they send people out to threaten you. So let's see. What do we got in chat? The reactions, yes, on my thought. Okay, cool. There's too much and so much to believe and not believe. But when you hear a guy like Guy, you know that shit's real. Yeah. Trust me. If I'm telling you I saw something like this and my wife saw something and we saw it together, if I saw it by myself, if I saw that giant triangle floating in the sky by myself, I would not be doing this right now. There's no benefit in this stuff at all. From our standpoint, it's not like it's a money maker, you know. So actually it gets you looked at very weird. Or when I was working at a different school district here for a little bit, you know, they knew of my podcast and things, and some of the teachers there were following it. They said, "Oh, you're the UFO guy." Yeah. What do you guys think about the upcoming public UFO report, October 31st? Oh, on Halloween. Isn't that cute? Good point. I think what you're going to see on that UFO report is probably a bunch of pilots coming forward, and they're going to break their silence on things that they've been seeing in the sky while they're flying. Because obviously, you know, we have over 1 million people every day flying through the air. You're obviously going to see something. And man, you can sure as hell trust Wayne and Michelle. I'm not saying that to be nice. Oh, thanks, Guy. And you know, if people don't trust us, good. Tell me where I'm wrong. Explain to me what it is we saw, and I can sleep better at night. You just got to convince me of it. Uranium, plutonium, can't imagine, right? Moneymaker. I'm in the hole with $25 after buying it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's no, I'm in the hole for buying the equipment to even do this. So, what about the spaghetti hair or angel hair left by you? Yes, good point. Haven't looked into that, but I've heard of it. That's an interesting one to talk about. Sarah M with 3 aliens. Hey, how are you? Good seeing. Oh, now we got 10 people watching. How about that? For this test of the Michigan UFO sightings and paranormal encounters video podcast. So, welcome, Sarah. How are you? You can make money with the subject if you talk about little green men. Yeah, see, I'm no. I didn't see little green men. I don't buy the little green men argument. I just kicked out. I just get a kick out of people who think anyone would tell this stuff to make money. Right. Exactly. It is what it is. Yeah. I feel like that. I saw what I saw. So there. Yeah. Let's see. Barry says do it once a month and let's get a group together for a CE5 March event. Not if we got to pay Greer. And I don't trust Greer. Sorry. I don't, Barry. I don't trust Greer. I tend to lean towards the science side first and foremost. Yep. But here's the thing, for us to apply science, we need something in our hands. We need something to test. The whole point of science is to compare, do experiments. So we need data. We need to do experiments to collect data so we can analyze that data and come to a conclusion. It's a scientific method. And these things seem like they're so far advanced. How are we ever going to be able to collect data on them? We've got radar data. So that's what we need. Or we're just going to continue to spin our wheels. And the government, if 1994 weather radar could pick up UFOs over Lake Michigan, then the US government, military or otherwise, has been tracking these things, especially with Space Force too. I mean, come on. The sensors we have now are ridiculous. Okay? We need that data. They need to release that data so it can be analyzed. I don't know what the problem is. Fine. Keep how your Spy 1 radar works. Keep it secret so people can't steal it. Cool. But provide us with the data that it captures about these things that are out there. So let's see. I need to catch up here. Nobody really trusts Greer, who I know. Oh, yeah. There are many trace evidence cases. I like Greer's disclosure. Yeah. Well, here's the thing with disclosure. And this is what I say disclosure is. Disclosure is people coming here, coming on our website, coming on our podcast, going on other shows, Goof on, whoever, and telling their story. They're disclosing what happened. To me, that's disclosure. And, you're disclosing what happened to you and what you witnessed. And to me, that's it. Because unless the government does what it needs to do, then, man, come on. All we have right now is just each other. Yes, and we hold the trump card. So far, all the data are corroborating. Calibrate the system. Why them only? Why not in Times Square? Well, Samo, I think they probably are in Times Square. You just don't know it. You can't detect them. Yeah, Greer is an odd character. Yeah. Something doesn't seem right with Greer. And I wonder if he did have some kind of an experience that pushed him this way. I don't know. But I know he is uh, tangled up in those Admiral Wilson files, which I've done a deep dive on through Dolan, and find those very, very interesting. Let's see. If I don't think about it, I think military experiment. My mates say the same thing. Boom. Well, I think they're replicating. I think they're replicating what they are witnessing on the military. There's too much to argue within. Yeah. There's too much arguing within ufology, right? Greer has done good things and bad things. Yep, I agree, Guy. Absolutely. I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I just CE5. I don't get it. When you're charging people money to do something, no, I'm not for that at all. Sky 360, yeah, yep. We've had Chris Lato on the show, and we've talked about. Well, we didn't really get into Sky 360, but I'm pretty sure he's involved in that. And I think Chris Lato has the right idea of trying to do citizen science. I would love to be involved with them in some way. And maybe, try to add some value to their work. But I think we have our own problems over here in Michigan I would like to focus on. It's those Great Lakes. Let's see, it's all classified, and we do have enemies. So sadly, yeah, we won't get disclosure from them. If I swore you in, you wouldn't leak data. You're a patriot as well. Well, of course. I've already been in the military. I did take an oath to defend the country and the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But yeah. Yep. Let's see. No, he went a little off the rocker, but then Greer did come up with the will. Yes, exactly. Yep. I will. Definitely, Barry. I agree 100%. That Wilson report, that is some amazing stuff. And Dolan does a 5-hour dive on those documents, which I've listened to now twice. And I really, really want to read those things and see what's going on. Let's see. The CE5 thing is a scam. Yeah. What is it? $1,500 for 4 nights camping or something and doing this? I don't know. Yes, they are everywhere, just cloaked. Okay. Yeah. Space Force mandate is we have jurisdiction from orbit to infinity. They can have the moon. We take the rest. Yeah, maybe. The water thing right now is too sad, Wayne. Why? What about the water thing, Samo? If it's going underground, where to? There's very suspect. Oh, yeah. Please don't waste your money on CE5. No. Nope. Let's see. Sarah says Greer and his people travel in style. I seen one of his groups over here in the UK. Oh, well, you're from the UK. Well, welcome, Sarah. Let's see. In a fleet of black Range Rovers. Ooh, yeah. Those aren't cheap. No wonder he charges so much. Yeah. Well, what else do you guys want to talk about? Did you guys watch that episode? Something in the Sky, Unsolved Mysteries, Season 3, Episode 2. Michigan, March 8th, 1994. 9 days later, Guy and Ed see the same craft. A triangle craft in Michigan. Once on the east side in Port Huron, And then Guy saw it over here on we're kind of mid Michigan, southeast Michigan, up near Flint. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. On our group, Guy has put a download of that episode. So if you don't have access to Netflix, he did put that episode up there. You can just watch it. Yeah, way too close. I'm a mellow guy, but the CE5 thing, anyone can do it. Makes my science brain kick. Yeah. Yeah. It's like watching Skinwalker Ranch. The experiments they're doing, and I know Travis Taylor is an astrophysicist and he should know how to conduct experiments, but they're not doing it. And that really bums me out. It does. Mm-hmm. So what we got? Oh, we got 12 people watching now. Hey, everybody, welcome. This is our very first StreamYard test live stream on YouTube from the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. And we are just chatting, hanging out, testing things out, talking about an episode of Unsolved Mysteries that talk about the March 8th, 1994 West Michigan UFO sightings that went on. So yeah, if you want to talk about something, throw it in the chat. Wayne, you and I should visit the ranch. We'll shut it down right. Yeah, we probably would. We'd probably shut it down and be like, let's do some real experiments here, people. 100%. You know, how about a weather balloon? Let's just put it up in that triangle. Let's see if it hits something or it disappears. Just tether it and put it up there with some instruments. How about so many of us who see these things then start seeing sequences of numbers on clocks like all the time? You mean like waking up at 3:33 a.m. every night for like the last 2 years? I've got pictures on my phone of every time I wake up after seeing this thing at 3:33. 3:33. I just take a screenshot. I actually had somebody say, "So you're telling me you just set your alarm for 3:33 and take a screenshot of it?" Yes, because as a school teacher, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to wake up at 3:33. I already get up at 5:30 to get ready for school. But yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. That's 3:18. Oh, Sarah, what do you think that is what is that pointing to? Let's see, Sarah. It's a big night. All right. Wayne's first StreamYard night. Yeah. I invited Richie to come on. I was hoping he would jump in, say hi. But I'm sure he's busy. Oh, you know what? Doesn't he goes to the gym after he's done with his stream? Most of us have pictures of on our phones. It's totally crazy. Yes. Yep. It happened to Michelle once. I was re-listening to one of our old episodes, and in that episode we talk about how she took a nap and she woke up at 3:33. But it was in the afternoon. It was before we were going to do that interview, that discussion panel with Guy, Alex, and Ed. 11:11 a.m. Yes. Me too. I noticed that number at work a lot. That's when I'm at work. Barry says my birthday is 11/11. November 11th, huh? That's very cool. Middle of the night. Oh, 3:18, middle of the night. Awesome. Wait, hold on. My mom is 1:30-ish. Me, myself, every night, 2:30, 5 o'clock, without fail. Sometimes I fall back. Others, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good birthday. November 11th. I'm sure that has some type of significance in the numerology world. I just, I find it really weird about the March stuff. 3, 6, and 9, man, the Tesla numbers, especially 9. Oh, I bet you having an 11, 11, 11 birthday was probably really cool, Barry. November 11th, 2011. That was a good birthday for Barry. Very non binary, right? Because it's all ones, no zeros. Hey, Linda, how are you? 222 and several. Yes. Like on license plate addresses. Yeah. 24,700 also. Okay. It's weird too. I see like 666 come up a lot in weird ways. Like how much something will cost with tax on it. It's really weird. It could be, Linda, it could be some type of communication. Mine was March 18th. Yeah. I watched an episode about a contactee named Bill Herman. Eyes on Cinema. His first contact was on March 18th, 1978. Yep. Launch a drone at it. Launch a drone at what? Sarah, I think you're onto something there. Synchronicity. Yeah. Yep. And I wonder too, like if our sleep cycles get programmed. Like so it, we're told to wake up at 3:33 every morning as long as we do 3 to 5 of that. Wake up 3 to 5 times at that exact time. It's like wired into our minds to go ahead and wake up every night at that night or at that time. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. Awesome. So let's see. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to do something here. Some more experimentation with live streaming. So I just sent somebody, a very special person, a invite to come on to the channel here and join us. So let's see. Guy, if you look on your video, I commented, oh my God, I watched this on March 18th. Yeah. Yep. So I'm waiting to see if a special someone joins us. I ran outside and looked for UFOs. No shit. Makes you wonder. Hey, we also got a new subscriber to the channel tonight. That's cool. Yeah, by the way, if you're watching this at some point in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help out our YouTube channel. we don't do much on the YouTube channel, but we do put our audio podcast up there so people can listen to it on YouTube if that's their choice. It's a little bit of an extra hassle to get audio podcast up onto YouTube, but I think it's worth it. Our eyes open every night for no reasons. Hey. All right, so I'm going to bring on a special guest. Let's see if I can do this. And there he is, Guy Merritt.
Do this.
There you go.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I can't make the.
You just got to turn down your speaker.
Oh shoot! I can't make it work.
You're on, Guy. Oh, and he's gone. So our first guest just bailed on us, everybody. I wake up and watch Goof on, usually fall back to sleep. Yeah, because you're in the UK, so yep. So obviously you're trying to get Guy to come on. There he is.
There you go.
I don't know, but I can't.
You're
hear
on.
You just had it on.
I know, but
Hey,
I can't
Guy.
hear anything.
Okay, now you're on.
Mute leaves it. I can't make the audio work. I can't hear anything. I can't hear.
We can hear you.
1 sec. Settings.
Linda, let them know we can
Camera
hear.
resolution. Audio. I can't hear a darn
Do you
thing.
want my headphones?
Speaker. I can't hear anything. What's the deal? The thing is, I can't hear Wayne. There's a lot of settings. Camera, that works.
Make sure you have
Microphone.
your speakers.
But then
Your speakers set
I'm
to the right
testing
thing.
the audio. I'm not hearing anything. Is something muted? I'm wrecking his live stream. He's done such a great job, and I'm following it up.
Hey,
Okay.
can you hear that?
I can hear now. I think there's a bit of a lag.
Yeah.
I think in the this is very strange. I'm trying like crazy, but
don't watch it through don't watch it through YouTube.
I'm having a bad hair day.
Yeah, me too. Yes, sir. What's going on, Guy?
Hey, here's one you'll get a kick out of. We're talking about the numbers, right?
Yeah.
And I've got a buddy it's funny because when I speak, I'm hearing my audio like 8 seconds late, right? Why, I don't know. It's crazy. Let me see if there's anything I can do. I might have to get out of here. And anyway, this buddy of mine has had numerous UFO sightings very close up. He's taking a picture of a UFO over his house. I mean, it's crazy. But he went in to get a back x-ray. A year apart, he got x-rays. And the doctor puts the one from the previous year up. And he puts the one he just took up on this screen. And the doctor says, look at the times on these. And my buddy Walt is like, what? And both of these x-rays taken a year apart are at 11:07:02, that's not right. Oh God, they were at the same times to the second. And if you added the numbers, they made 11:11. It was bizarre. The doctor couldn't believe it. I'm tired and didn't know you were going to do this. So
you got a surprise invite.
See, I'm hearing what I said 12 seconds ago now.
It's because you're hearing
special
the
guest.
YouTube.
People didn't know I was this ugly in real life, you know.
Hold up your puppy.
All right, Guy. Well, thanks for joining us, man. I kind of sabotaged you.
I want to make another UFO. Yeah, I'm going to log out because it's messed up. It was a great idea, but you will need to figure this out.
Show him your puppy before you go.
All right, everybody. That was Guy Merritt. Once again. Yeah, hey. Yeah, I think what Guy was hearing was the YouTube audio coming through instead of the StreamYard. So I have YouTube running over here on one of my other monitors because it seems like the comments come through YouTube quicker than they do on StreamYard. So I can see those things in chat faster. And then the video is lagging though. So it's a weird thing. But anyways, all right, guys. It's been an hour and 21 minutes. Let's say we go like 8 more minutes or so and we'll wrap this up. Yeah, that was crazy. I was hearing my own voice way before my actual speech. Yeah. My guess is you were hearing the YouTube come or the StreamYard coming through and the YouTube. So yeah, StreamYard seems a little weird. There's some delays there. So yeah, I was interested to see how, some people do have interviews and do interviews, live on StreamYard and how it would work. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, anything else you guys want to bring up? You got to go watch this episode of Unsolved Mysteries though. Especially if you live in Michigan. Once a month on the 18th. Let's all meet and do this. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll do a live stream the 18th of every month on top of our normal audio podcast. Yeah, Guy, we could play around with it. Do you have a mute your YouTube stream or something? That's what I do, Sarah. I got YouTube running over here or over there on another monitor. And 3:33 right now. Ha! Yeah, it's 10:33 here. There you go. But yeah, that's what I do, Sarah. I have YouTube running up on the other monitor and I have that one, the volume turned off, or it would be ridiculous. Do it again soon, Rick? Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll actually try to plan something. And what I want to do is watch this episode again and take some notes down and find some things to talk about. Hey, there we go, Sarah. 3:33. Yep. Hopefully we all dig up a story about Michigan in UFOs and share it. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be Michigan. Obviously, if it is Michigan, cool. But it doesn't have to be. You can turn on the donation button. I don't think I can. I think I need a certain number of subscribers to the YouTube channel. Right? Maybe at some point, right? We gotta get over 1,000 people subscribed to the YouTube channel before we can have a membership or super chats. Is that what they're called? Yeah, super chats. Yeah. 1,000 subs. I think you're right. Yeah. Yep. Sounds about right. Everyone should buy a t-shirt. They're high quality and it helps Wayne and Michelle. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Let me see how this works. Let me grab the store, our stupid store through Teespring, or it used to be called Teespring. Now they're just called Spring. I bought the domain for our store, so it would be MIUFO podcast store .online, and I went to renew that store, and something happened in their system where it did not pay for the subscription. So now our domain is basically gone until they fix the problem and let us renew our original, store. I might just buy a new domain. I mean, I don't really care. It's in all the show descriptions everywhere else. But I switched up our link tree and stuff too. So it has that link right there. Yeah, we got all kinds of cool stuff. We got hoodies, zip up hoodies. We got t-shirts now that have both the logos. A small one on the front left breast pocket, and then on the back we have it blown up. All you got to do is scroll over the shirt to see their double-sided print, and they raised the prices on us for all of the stock and everything. So, things are like $1 more, but our profit margin is like $2 on the shirts and stuff. So, I didn't mark them up much at all. That is true, Guy. It does. It takes a lot of time, man, doing all the editing and things like that. That's why I don't like video podcasting, because I don't know I know more about audio editing and things than I do video. And doing StreamYard like this where it's live and just kind of off the cuff, there's no editing. It's like what you get is what you get, and don't throw a fit kind of a thing. But with the audio, there's a lot of cleanup and cuts and splices and commercials and things you got to put in. So yeah. Don't watch Eyes on Cinema tonight. You won't be able to sleep. Okay, good point, Barry. I'm not going to do that. I'll start fresh tomorrow. So, yep. All right. Well, we got about 2 minutes left. We're going to end this at 1 hour and 30 minutes. We're at 1:28. So, anything else you guys want to bring up? You officially now in the zone. I love you, brother, and I'm so happy for you both. Yeah, we got to get Michelle to come on here. Michelle had a hell of a day today. She had to go with the band at about 7:00 this morning, her daughter's band, and they went and had their very last competition today about an hour away. So she rode on a bus, helped the kids unload all of their marching band stuff and all of that. And, all right, Guy. Yes, sir. Have a good night. But yeah, so she was doggone tired, and so she wasn't going to pop on here, but we'll get her on here at some point. We'll just talk to you guys. We'll try to put something together. All right, good night, and thank you. All right. Thanks, Barry. Appreciate it. Share us out. Share our YouTube channel out. Let's get some more subscriptions, and, we'll see where this goes. Who knows? All right. Thank you. This was beautiful. She has missed out. Yeah. Yeah, she's all right. So, all right. Yep. All right, everybody. We're going to officially sign out. And as Barry says, and I like to close out all of our podcast, make sure you keep those eyes on the sky. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.